Good morning, beginning farmer friends. I'm coming to you live, but not really live, from the John Deere 4430. Now, the reason I'm standing outside the 4430 right now is because last week I just got a wild hair and I decided, you know what, it's time to wash the 4430. It had been a while, so I got the power washer out. The reason that I washed it is, to be completely honest, we've got some pretty serious oil leaks going on coming out of this selective control valve, this little hydraulic selective control valve here. You can see it's dripping down right there. So I power washed everything off. I power washed the mud under the wheels and around the wheels. I power washed the sides. I power washed over here. We've got some more leaks right here. This fuel line right here is a leak that we've got. That is the diesel line from the filters to the injector. That leaks. We've got a little bit of oil down here that's leaking. I've got some leaks on my hydraulic cylinders. Basically, if there is a fluid that can leak, it's leaking on the 4430 right now. It's not leaking so much so that I have to add fluid every day or even every week or even every other week. But it comes out a little bit. But the reason that I'm standing here today is because it's time to do something that I don't to be completely honest, I don't know if I've ever done. And that is clean the inside of the cab. So I'm gonna move some trucks around so that we can get the 4430 to where we can vacuum it out and clean it out, and we'll see what we find, and we'll see if we can get this ready to go make some hay again here coming in the next week or so. All right, let's see what we've got going on in here. So if I turn the camera around here, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but this is my little shelf here, and my carpet has come off. I've got some starting fluid. I've got some fluid film, some lubricant. I've got a pair of gloves. I've got a syringe, a knife, nuts, bolts. Oh, look at this. This is a piece of my grinder mixer that fell off when I turned too sharp. Another piece of my grinder mixer. We'll just put that on the floor. Down there, I've got more pieces. I was looking over here. This is actually my son's shirt. I've got some water bottles. I've got some chains on the floor. It's just kind of been a collecting point. And so we're gonna clean it out today. We're gonna get the vacuum out right here. I don't know if you guys can see this right here, but this is my buddy seat right here. This nice block of wood for the kids to ride on. So let's get cleaning. All right, here's where we are. I've got a lot of vacuuming done. I've got more vacuuming to do, but I think I can pull out, there's a mat in the bottom here. I think I can pull this mat out. We're gonna give it a try. Mat is out. So this is the little side window here, windshield, side of the tractor, little door. And a couple things. One, it's obvious that I've got some leaks. I don't know if you can tell, but there's some oil down in there. I've got most of the insulation off in here, and so I think that's about as far as I can go is getting the insulation off. If I'm going to redo the interior of the cab, which like I said I would like to do sometime, I think I'll have to take the seat out and scrape it off and do a little better job. Take this little floor pan out here, get behind that so that we can repair the back of the cab. But for now, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some super clean and we're gonna do a little scrubbing on in here, and probably that's about as far as we can go. All right, here's what I decided to do. This pan down here, you see this, all this back here was stuck between the floor pan. I don't know where my garbage is. All this garbage here was stuck between the floor pan. It goes right here. This goes down to your transmission, I assume, but it's rusting. All this mud and junk is getting stuck down there and rusting away, and so I don't know, I just decided since I was in there I was gonna take it out. Of course the screws, they weren't gonna, the bolts, only one came out on its own, and so grinder came out. It's gone. I suppose I see my air conditioning line right there. I can put some insulation around that AC line while I've got it taken apart here, clean up on top of the transmission, and then we'll put that pan back in. All right, here's where we are. That's the Minneapolis Moline behind me. That is an M5. That is a project for another video. It's sitting there because I can't drive it away, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So, you know, I took this off. I told you that. We saw that. We watched that. I've got the floor pan down here, right here. I'm gonna get the grinder out. This is what I've decided I'm going to do. I went to town and I got some new nuts and bolts to go in here because, as you saw, I ground those off. I'm gonna take a little bit of rust off of this. I'm gonna take a little bit of rust off the tractor, and we're just gonna call it good. I'm gonna put the floor pan back in. I'm gonna get on Google and find another one eventually, and probably what's going to happen is this tractor is going to end up going either to my cousin's or to a machine shop, a welding shop. We're going to fix the cab, put in a new floor pan, and that way we don't have water coming through and more rust and deterioration going on. So I'm going to throw the glasses on, safety glasses. Norm Abrams taught me that, and then we're just going to start grinding.
Well, I wish I had sticks and stones to build my chimney high. Every time I ring my bell and put out all my fires, singing, oh Lord, Sandy boys, hey, get along, I say. Oh Lord, Sandy boys, wait for the break of day. And the river's wide, wind blows steady and strong, and I wish I had an old gray mare to pull my boat along, singing, oh Lord, Sandy boys, hey, get along, I say. Oh Lord, Sandy boys, waiting for the break of day. Somebody stole my old coon dog and I wish they'd bring him back. Run the old sow over the fence and the little ones through the cracks, singing, oh Lord.
Wow. I don't know if you used to listen to the Beginning Farmer Show podcast. It's, you know, I did an episode 4 or 5 months ago, I don't know. But I ended every episode of the Beginning Farmer Show podcast with a hard lesson learned. And I feel like this tractor cleaning on the 4430 today was a hard lesson learned. Now, it looks good inside. I mean, good for a 40-plus-year-old tractor that is kind of falling apart cosmetically. but it looks nothing like it did when we started. But also, I did one of those deals where I exposed more problems than I solved, it seems like. So the biggest thing, like right now, when you go to step in, this mat is black instead of dust color. That is incredible. I'll step up in here. It's hot in here. I do have a few questions. I'll ask those at the end. But so here's what we did. We took everything out. I took all the tools out. I've left those out. That's one of the questions that I'm going to ask at the end. We vacuumed everything out. You saw me take the floor pan out. I didn't get a video of it because I just not very good at taking videos. Apparently I tried to, but apparently I just took a picture. But we washed all the windows inside and out. We washed all the dash and stuff like this. I don't have any carpet yet on my shelf, but we do have some carpet that I'm going to put in there. We got the buddy seat back in here, you know. Maybe someday I'll attach that, or we'll, like I said, we'll switch it out. But all in all, it's good. We do have some major problems with the back of the cab on this down at the bottom. That is something I do want to fix, because I feel like that's a issue of water coming up and into the cab, and it's a structural problem for the cab eventually. This is not a candidate for restoration. First of all, I'm not in the position to restore tractors that I use all the time. And because this is the main tractor, and by main tractor I mean really only tractor, except for that M5 that you saw earlier that we got to do a little work on. I'm not ready to restore it. I just use it. I feed hay with it. I make hay with it. I grind feed with it. I clean out bedding with it. I do everything with this tractor on the farm. Couple things that I would love some input on. First of all, like I said, I didn't put the tools back in on the shelf yet, because that's really the only place I had for them. I would love to mount a metal toolbox on the side. You know, if you've seen the old tractors, they've got a toolbox right here. I don't have a spot for that because I've got the loader bucket or loader bracket. So if you've got any ideas on how to mount the toolbox on the side of this, I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm also going to put a hook out here. My cousin and my uncle have a hook that comes out here to hang their chains on, because I've been storing my chains on the bottom of the floor and that's just a mess. Right now I don't have any chains that have two hooks on them, so it's really not that big of a deal if I carry around the chains with me anyways. The other thing that I have a question about, and you're probably not going to be able to see because the sun's behind right now, but like at one point or another, this window, the wiper on this window was bad, and they ran the wiper, and it's kind of just, it's scratched up a little bit. It's a little harder to see through. I would love to like buff that out, but I don't know how to do any of that. So if you guys have any suggestions on where to mount my toolbox on this, let me know, or how to put that, get that glass cleaned up. I would love to hear your suggestions on that. We are going to do a few other things on the 4430 hopefully soon. If you know which one of these wires right here runs your air conditioner, let me know, because if I get over here and jiggle it, the AC comes on, but other than that it doesn't work. We do have a few lights to change in the back, but other than that it's a great working tractor, and now it's clean inside. I will leave you with a hard lesson learned though, and my hard lesson learned for today is this: like, whatever you start and you think it's going to be a quick job, it's not. Like, I started out vacuuming and getting rid of the old deteriorated foam, and I ended up taking a floor panel out, and oh my goodness, so much more. So thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, subscribe, notify, blah 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 blah. You can follow us on Instagram, all the places. I am so thankful for you guys. Until next time, for this old 4430 and this old beginning farmer, you guys have a great night, day, evening, whatever time of day you watch this.